Hey, it's me, Renee. I'm back. So this is my reaction to the Goodreads winners. So I had planned to do a Goodreads themed video before. Goodreads, book of the year, the Goodreads awards. Sorry, winners. I planned to do a video on this before, and then kind of ended up not doing it. And everyone else was doing it. But then I saw the winners, and I was like, you know what? You know what? I'm gonna react because I have reactions. Well, I have reactions to one at least. Like most of the time, I don't have much to say. But one category I started yelling. Like I live alone in an apartment, and it's an apartment. So there's like people. Well, it's not people that way because I live at the end, but like that way and up, there's people. So you can hear neighbors sometimes. But yeah, I yelled. I don't think I yelled that loudly, but I yelled when I heard about one category. It was like, what? 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 Almost started throwing things around. I had a reaction. Had a reaction. But yeah, so kind of said I kind of, you know what? I want to just react to the whole thing because why not? Is this like clickbaity thingy? A little bit, but not much. Mostly it's just kind of me wanting to react. But will it get some views? Might do. But yeah. Okay, let's start. So the first one, winner of fiction, was Sally Rooney. Beautiful World, Where Are You? Haven't read it. I tried one Sally Rooney book 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago now. I didn't like it at all. I DNF'd it. So yeah, I don't really think Sally Rooney is my cup of tea. So yeah, she is a well-read author. A lot of people have talked about her, wants to read her, etc. So I'm not really surprised she won. I think I'm just gonna comment on the other nominees because interesting to think. Okay, so Dial A for Aunties had was second runner up. It was the runner up. Second place. This one I actually tried to read because I heard about it. It was kind of had some buzz earlier in the year. I ended up actually DNFing it. I like the idea of it, but execution, I don't know. I kind of felt too much. Even though like I love like those kinds of things, but I don't know. The book just kind of can't really put my finger on it, but yeah, it wasn't really for me. Simply. Cloud Cuckoo Land by Anthony Doerr. I haven't read anything by him at this point in time. A friend of mine read one by him, if I'm not mistaken. All the lights we cannot see. She really recommended that one. I haven't read that one yet, but I kind of want to read that first. Once They Were Wolves, never heard of it. The Paper Palace, never heard of it. The Wish by Nicholas Sparks. I read one Nicholas Sparks book years ago. What it was fine. I think Nicholas Sparks, at least in my head, he kind of works better as adapted on a movie, at least for me. But yeah, and then we have the Gunkel. This one I actually really want to read. It just sounds so cool. It's about, I think it's a summer or maybe it's a whole year, but at least like it's this gay uncle and he has to take care of his nieces and nephews because his sister or brother, I'm not sure what it is, has just kind of gone away and just kind of left them to him. And then, yeah, I think it's kind of more like a slice of life thing. I don't really think it's direct romance with kids in it. I think it's more slice of life, him being a parent figure, and maybe it's a bit of him having dates. I'm not sure, but yeah, it sounds cool. So yeah, I want to read that one. Sorry. The Transition Baby. Haven't read it. Heard it's supposed to be good. Haven't heard that much about it. Golden Girl by Hildebrand. Haven't read it. Not really interested in it. A Reading List by Sarah Nisha Adams. Heard this is supposed to be very good, so this is on my radar. Oh, what's the radar again? That's Summer by Jennifer Weiner. I really love In Her Shoes. That's based on Jennifer Weiner book. I haven't read any of her books. So yeah. Then we are the Burners. Haven't heard of it. The 100 Years of Lenny and Margaret. Not heard of it. Black Book by Matseo Ascari-Poor. I've heard this is supposed to be good. And yeah, this is on my radar. But not read it at this point in time. Infinite Country by Patricia Engel. Never heard of it. The Sentence by Louise Eldridge. Never heard of it. This Close to Okay. Never heard of it. No thoughts. Bewilderment. Oh, William. 1, 2, 3. It's a weird title. Just 1, 2, 3. That's a kind of weird title, I would say. But yeah, haven't heard of that one. So don't really have any thoughts. Like next one. So mystery and thriller. The last thing you told me by Laura Day was the winner. Never heard of that one. I don't read that much thrillers and mysteries, but I hear of one of them. So the Maidens was a runner-up. This was supposedly was a big divisive book. Some people loved it, some people hated it. Thrillers is not really for me, so I'm not gonna pick it up anyway. Billy Summers by Stephen King. Have heard of it because it's King, but I don't really know that much about it. The Push, I don't know. Arsenic and Adobo, which is supposed to be a coast mystery. That one sounds cool. Harlem Shuffle by Colson Whitehead. This one I've heard about. Actually, I haven't read in Colson Shuffle yet, but Colson Whitehead yet, but I want to. Apples Never Fall, Leanne Moriarty. Haven't read it. Not interested in it really. The Bar Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins. It's supposed to be a Jane Eyre retelling, and I've heard it's supposed to be good, bad. So yeah. Rock Paper Scissors. Haven't heard of. Rateability Issues. No, actually, Rateability Issues. That one I actually heard about. It's these two older guys they're going on revenge because their kids who were married were killed, and now their parents are going on revenge trip in a way. And yeah, it sounds interesting. Local Woman Missing. Survivors. Good Sister. The Night She Disappeared. We begin at the end. Sounds pretentious, but I haven't heard of it. The Plot. I think this is about warfare and something. But yeah, I haven't heard much of it. Not a Happy Family. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna skip. I haven't heard about any of them so much. So I'm just gonna skip because me saying I haven't heard of it 1,000 times. Is that interesting? Don't think it's that interesting. Well, might be, but yeah. So, historical fiction. The winner here was Malibu Rising, Taylor Jenkins Reid. So again, I suppose it wasn't that surprising really because Taylor Jenkins Reid is kind of big author now. She has 2 other books that are kind of huge, so it's probably a book that a lot of people who don't read much, but maybe they read 1 or 2 books a year. They might vote for this or read this and vote for this. So not that surprised. Haven't read it. I kind of do I want to read anything I can read? Don't really think at this point in time it's not really something I'm gonna prioritize. So yep. Out of these, I actually have a few more I'm gonna have thoughts about. So the Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner, which was the 3rd runner-up. That one sounds very cool. That's on my radar. Then you have The Rose Code by Kate Quinn. I've heard good things about this one as well. The Paris Library by Janet Skeslien Charles. This one I read. I started earlier in the year. I gave it I think maybe 5, 6 chapters. I didn't finish. It's just it wasn't that interesting executed. The idea behind it was interesting, but then when I started reading, the characters didn't really feel alive. They just kind of felt like characters on a page. It didn't really at least in my head, when you're reading a book, you're supposed to forget. Well, when you're reading a great book or a very good book, you're supposed to forget you're reading. and you're supposed to like think that these people could be people you could meet in real life, or these like they feel real and alive. So you're supposed to slightly forget you're reading a book. This book, I just always like, I thought, oh, when's the next chapter and how far have I got? And I just can't looked like, oh, I've just read 2 more pages. Okay, feels like much more. Like you're supposed to feel like you're flying by when a book is amazing, and this was far from it. So yeah, The Dictionary of Lost Words by Pip Williams. Also heard very good things about this one. Haven't read it yet. The Owl Witch. Haven't heard about it. The Personal Librarian by Mary Benedict. This one I actually own, and I heard good things about it, and it just sounds very cool. So yeah, this one I kind of want to read soonish. The Yellow Wife by Sadiqa Johnson. This one I heard about like through after it came out Goodreads, like on this nomination list, and it sounds cool. People said it's good, so yeah, it's on my radar. The Prophets of Woman and Salt. The Final Review of Opal and You. The Love Songs of W.E.B. Du Bois. I don't really have any thoughts. I'm just gonna. Crossroads. It's a book. I don't really have any. Supposedly, well, yeah, Jonathan Franzen. It's kind of controversial. I don't really remember what's dealing with him, but he's controversial in some parts. So yeah, that's kind of all I know really. Yeah, don't really have any more thoughts. Oh yeah, I'm kind of sensing I already made a video, so I kind of already have a bit of a throat. Maybe I'm gonna get you know what? Wait a moment. So I just got throat what's a tablet? Throat candy? Not throat candy. Throat. You know, a thing to give me better voice. You know. But yeah, moving on. Fantasy. This is fantasy adults. This is say fantasy. just says fantasy. The other one said adult historical, but just fantasy. Like, what is for kids? It says kids fantasy. Shouldn't you also say like adult fantasy? I suppose just adults is just kind of the default in a way. But yeah, the winner here, A Court of Silver Flames. Not that surprising. She has a lot of fans. So here in this category, I have more things that I know about, but I haven't actually read any of them. No, I haven't. Haven't read any of them. But I have thoughts on some of them. Like The Last Graduate, which is the second book in the Scholomance by Naomi Novik. I've heard lots of, there was a big controversy around the first book, well, first in the series last year. And all in all, this series doesn't really interest me, so I don't plan on reading it. So I'm fine with it not winning. Under Whispering Jaw by T.J. Klune. So this is a ghost to man romance, and sounds nice. Haven't read it yet. Want to read it? I actually just read Under the House by the Cerulean Sea a few weeks ago. Didn't love it. But I still kind of want to read Under Whispering Jaw. Haven't read it yet, so yeah. The Crown or Gilded Bones by Jennifer Armentrout. I read some Armentrout or JLA books years ago. Haven't read any since actually, but yeah, she writes good. Yeah. Ariadne, supposed to be good, but also kind of literary. The Book of Magic. I read one Alice Hoffman book years ago. Not that good at all. But do I have any more thoughts? The Jasmine Throne. I really want to read that one. Haven't read it yet, but I want to read it. A Master of Gin by P. J. Clark. I actually own that one, and I plan to read it soon. And yeah, and also The Unbroken by C.L. Clark sounds very cool. And that's all I have really for that category. But also, yeah, I kind of agree with a lot of booktubers that said like I kind of feel like we should have like a category for paranormal romance and then one for fantasy. And I kind of agree because I mean, fantasy is just so wide that you have like one fantasy, even if it's just adult fantasy, just having one category, it's just kind of it. It makes like better for us all. Like it makes so wide of books in the same category. Like puts them together and makes you choose between so different books. So it's just yeah. And yeah. Then we have romance. Here I actually read quite a few. Oh, quite a few. I read a few. People We Meet on Vacation 1 by Emily Henry. I've heard about her beach read from 2-3 years ago. Wasn't that really interested in it, so I heard mixed things. So yeah, don't really plan to read this one, but it's very famous, so I'm not that surprised it's one. Second runner-up was Love Hypothesis. Kind of surprised it didn't win, but yeah, haven't read it yet. First of all, I want to read it, but now I'm not quite sure if I want to read it because I heard about one scene in it. So maybe I suppose I could just read it and skim it, but yeah. Then One Last Stop was the third book on here. I enjoyed it, and yeah, read it a few months ago. Enjoyed it. I read I love the other one more, but I enjoyed that one. And yeah, this is No Deception. I want to read it, have it on my TBR. Well, kind of, I want to buy a book. Act Your Age is Brown. I read it, really enjoyed it. Kind of surprised it didn't get more votes, but maybe Talia Hibbert is kind of, I suppose she's kind of still a bit of up and coming. Like a lot of these other authors have been around for a long time, but she's fairly new. She's like just published for 2 or 3 years. Maybe it takes a bit time before you become huge. And I don't know. I just assumed Evil Brown would win or at least get more points. I don't know. Maybe people who love Evil Brown aren't on Goodreads. Could be. I mean, this Goodreads people voting, so yeah. The XX. So the plot sounds cool, and I wanted to read it, and then people said like it's not that good, but I still kind of want to read it. So yeah. Neon Guards, not really for me. The Heart Principle by Helen Huang. So I read the first two. Read the first two. No, yeah, actually read the first two. Really enjoyed the first one. Second one I thought was So the third one, I'm not sure I want to read it or not. So I might read it in the future. Maybe if people say, "Hey, read it! I will pick it up. But yeah. The Charm Offensive is on my TBR. Life's Too Short, I read. I enjoyed it. Didn't get that many votes, but it was on nomination list. I think also just like being in the final rounds, I think that's just kind of a huge boost. Like I think a lot of people just kind of often take recommendations from these final rounds and stuff. And yeah. Shipped by Angie Hockman looks very cool. How to Fail at Flirting looks very cool also, but I haven't read it. And yeah, moving on. Science fiction. For adults. The winner, the last Andy Weir book, Project Hail Mary. Kind of obvious. He's a huge author because of the movie, and yeah, a lot of people read him. So yeah. Second runner up is Clara and the Sun. I kind of agree. I think like this is more literary than science fiction, so I kind of feel like why is it here? But yeah, I mean, genres, categories, how do you put books in boxes? It's difficult. The Last Jedi, Light of the Last Jedi. Yeah. Echo Wife. I actually started a Sarah Gailey book a year ago. Didn't get far because mood reader. Not because I didn't like it, but just shiny books. Want to finish it, but yeah. Murderbot book. Haven't started this series yet. Want to read it. Winter's Orbit seems very cool, but I'm kind of scared of the science fiction aspects, but I want to read it. Next one. And then next one. Have any comments? Yeah, I don't really have any comments on the other books really, so I'm just gonna move on. Okay, yeah, this next category is horror. I'm not really gonna have anything comments here. Although the winner was the final girl support group, which has been talked about a lot. It's supposed to be a movie, so yay, good for you. Don't have anything more to say there. Moving on. This category is best humor. Winner was Jenna Lawson. Jenna Lawson is, I think, a comedian. At least apparently funny. So yeah, she wrote Broken, and yeah, haven't read it, but yeah. Leslie Jordan has a book on here. Nick Offerman has a book. Seth Rogen has a book. Phoebe Robinson has a book. Amber Ruffin has a book. A lot of these books are on my radar. Yeah, but I don't really have that much to say about them. Black Nerd Problem seems cool. Yeah, don't really have that much to comment, so yeah. I love them on my radar, and that's kind of it. Non-fiction. The winner, John Green. Not that surprising. He's a huge presence. He's one of the founders of YouTube. Well, not founders, but like he's been on YouTube forever, and yeah. So he won, and the second runner-up, The Comfort Book by Matt Haig. That one I kind of want to read. It sounds nice, like it's all about comforts of life or something like that. It's supposed to be short but good, and yeah. And Jane Goodall has a book, The Book of Hope. Didn't know this. Sounds cool. Don't know. Don't really have any comments on other books here. I can't say really. No, I can't. Don't have any comments on the other books. Then memoir and autobiography. The winner, Crying in H Mart. Don't have any comments. Haven't really heard about it, but good for it that they won. Runner-up was that Stanley Tucci. Cool for you. Haven't read it yet. Might do. And then I don't have really thoughts on any of the other books. Yeah, don't really have that much to say. Moving on. I think I might maybe take a... You know what? I'm just gonna take a break, actually. I'm back. So yeah, I needed a little break with my voice. My voice is still a bit, but I want to finish this. So yeah. So yeah, where were we? History in biography. The winner of this was Empire of Pain by Patrick Radden Keefe. The Secret History of the Sackler Dynasty. It's all about painkillers and how there's kind of big capitalism around that, and yeah, this kind of thing. It's been very much praised by everyone, at least I've heard about it. And yeah, seems to be one of the few winners that people actually are happy is a winner. And yeah, I haven't read it yet, but I kind of want to because I heard only good things about it. The runner-up is a woman they could not silence. One woman, her incredible fight for freedom, and the man who tried to make her disappear. By Kate Moore. That one sounds also very good. I want to check out that one. The Codebreaker by Jennifer Doudna, Gene Editing and the Future of Human Race by Walter Isaacson. Also sounds good. 400 Souls, a community history of African American, 1619 to 2019. Sounds good. Honestly, this This is just kind of showing of me, because I love these books in like this category. Just sounds so good. And I like the sound of a lot of nonfiction, historical, and biography books. But then again, I end up like putting a lot of them on my to read list, and I don't just kind of not ending up reading them. So how soon I'll finish these ones or start these ones, I don't know, but they seem cool. Yeah, honestly, there's not a book here I don't really want to read. Like, most of these sounds very cool. So yeah, I'm just not gonna comment anymore because they all sound cool. So yeah, interesting. Then we have best graphic novel and comics. And you just had graphic novel comics there. You didn't have any graphic novels, so interesting. Or was it the other way around? It was like, yeah, one of them was just included in the category, which was, yep. The winner was Lower Olympus by Rachel Smythe. This has been a huge, what's the word again, webcomic, so this didn't really surprise me at all. Yeah, I haven't read any of the others here, and honestly, don't really have any interest in any of the others, so I'm just gonna move on. Just all of them. Yeah, you're fine. Poetry. The winner, Amanda Gorman, The Hill We Climb. So, yeah, again, not really surprising. I haven't really read that yet. Well, I did listen to it. It was good, but I haven't read it. Yeah, other than that, poetry. It's not really something that I really look in so much into. Like, I read like one poem a decade, maybe. It's something I think now and then I should try to get more into, and then I kind of just don't. But maybe I should try again. Maybe I should try to do that next year. Get more into poetry. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah. And then best debut. The winner was The Spanish Love Deception. Again, heard very good things about it. Haven't read it yet. Don't really have that much to say about it. Runner up was The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. Cool. And then number third was Firekeeper's Daughter. Heard a lot of good things about that one. Not sure if I want to read it myself, but yeah. Then I don't really have The Winter's Orbit I want to read. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these books are already are in other categories, so I should talk about them again. I suppose I could, but yeah, won't do that. Young adult fiction. Here, the winner is Firekeeper's Daughter. So, yep, I haven't read it. Heard lots of good things about it. So, yeah, I don't really have anything to say there. Here, I actually have a comment. So, the second place in this category is The Hawthorne Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. The second book in the Inheritance Games. So last year the Inheritance Games came out. That was the first book in this trilogy series. I'm not sure. Anyway, this series. It was lots of hype and stuff. So I read it like, I think maybe I read it this year. Anyway, I read it after a long time, lots of hype. Maybe after a lot of too much hype. Anyway, I was disappointed. And I finished it, but maybe I shouldn't, because like it was always fine and had potential, but for me, it never went from the level of, oh, interesting, to like, oh my god, this is so good, or oh, I really want to read more. I just kind of always flipped the page and thought, is the next page going to be better? Is the next page going to be better? Is the next page going to be better? And when that happens to me, it's kind of a really telltale sign of a book that's not that good. I mean, if you're always waiting for the next page to be better than the page you're reading, yeah. I mean, if you're hoping for it, that's fine, something else. But like, if you're waiting for it and you need next page to be better, yeah, that tells you something, really. Tells you something. Ace of Spades. A lot of people are talking about this one. Some people think I should have won. I haven't read it yet. Not sure if I will. I think it's thrillerish, and yeah. Then you have Aristotle and Dante discover the waters of the world. Haven't read it yet. Thinking I might. Concrete Rose. Haven't read it yet. Kinda want to. As Good as Dead and the Cousins. Don't really have any thoughts around those. Haven't read them. Not really plan to. Last Night at the Telegraph Club. Good, I think. I haven't read it. I think actually I heard some bad things about this one, but yeah. Instructions for Dancing with Nicolas Huang. I read it a few months ago. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I enjoyed it for the most part, but the ending was kind of like, what? I felt like the ending was, yeah, it was just weird in my mind. And yeah. Tokyo Ever After by Emiko Jean. I want to read this so much. I just haven't read it yet. So I don't really have anything to comment there. She Drives Me Crazy by Kelly Quinn. Want to read, haven't read it yet. A Full Love Story. Want to read, haven't read it yet. Yolk, never heard of, but it's my Mary Kay HK show. Don't really want to read it. You Have a Match by Emma Lord. Can't want to read it. Honey and Issue's Guide to Fake Dating. Want to read it. The Girls I've Been by Tess Sharp. Read it, really enjoyed it. And I feel like it should be higher up, but what can you say? Perfect on Paper by Sophie Gonzalez. Read it, really enjoyed it. Think also it should be higher up, but I haven't read all the books. Maybe some of the other books are better than that one. I don't know. Counting Down with You by Tashi Burjan. Haven't read it, want to. And The Project by Courtney Summers. Haven't read it, haven't really heard of it, so yeah. Just kind of, yeah. Maybe I actually have to. What's going on there? I don't know. Sorry. Don't know what I did now. I don't think I did anything. Yeah. Okay, anyway. Just gonna check something. Okay, yeah, I'm soon finished. Okay, yeah, because my battery is being weird. But yeah, okay. Young Adult Fantasy. The winner. Rule of Wolves by Lee Bardugo. Yeah, wasn't really that surprised. I mean, it's a Lee Bardugo movie book, and you have the Shadow of Bone series come out earlier this year, and this year was last year. I think it was this year. It was this year. Yeah, and yeah. You know what? I'm actually gonna have to move because my camera is, well, the battery is going away. So I'm going that. And then hey, a little change of scenery, but yeah. So here we are doing the last bit. But yeah, Rule of Wolves. Haven't read it yet. Kind of wanted to read it, but yeah, haven't read it as of now. King of Iron was second runner up. That's in Cassandra Clare universe, so not surprising. And then you have Lore, which I've most only heard bad things about. Well, I saw one comment who said she enjoyed it but didn't think it deserved the third place, so maybe Alexandra Bracken paid now, probably. I don't think. Maybe other people voted on it who hadn't read it. That could be it. I mean, people do that sometimes. That could be it. But I haven't really heard people talk about reading it anyway. Like, I haven't heard that much about it in general. And I haven't really heard people talk about having read it. So, I don't know. And then there's Simon Snow number 3. Honestly, this series, not for me. I read the first one, didn't like it. Yeah. And then you have The Folk of the Air, 3.5 by Holly Black, or a novella in that series. Don't have any comments, haven't read it, so yeah. Iron Widow, so that's on number 5. But yeah, it's a debut book, so I suppose not that surprising it's not higher, because debut books are often not that higher, and yeah, it's a big competition. Lots of competition. Yeah, I don't really have any more comments on any of these others. haven't really read any of the others either, so yeah. Now we come to what we're really all here for. This afternoon right now has been actually, in a way, a long preload, a long introduction, in a way, because this is the juiciness. This is the reason why we're here. Also, a moment. I'm so mad. The person, well, so mad. I'm so mad. The person who won this. Well, I'm so mad that the person who won this one and not the one I wanted to, at least the one I wanted to, didn't get higher. I'm gonna snack on ginger, fresh ginger. It's very good as like flavor and stuff, but fresh. It's fresh. But yeah, to show my madness, yeah, my grumpiness. Oh god. And my anger, I'm gonna do that. So yeah, this last one is the middle grade and children's. This year they combined middle grade and children's, which sometimes people combine those two in their heads, but it's not really true. And yeah, that's just like, if you think in grand scheme of things, yes, middle grade is children's, because middle grade is between like 9 to like 12, at least in my head, and that's a child. But in my head, children's, like, more specifically, that's more like from 5 to like, yeah, to like 9. So like between, like, that, it's not like the baby books, but it's not middle grade books. It's something in between there. And Goodreads said like, we don't think so. So just combining those things is, yeah. But yeah, so who won? I suppose maybe you probably know this by now, but in case you didn't, winner, Daughter of the Deep by Rick Riordan. Yeah, Rick won again. He has won more or less like every year when he's been nominated. I feel like he's won like more or less all the years. And not to say he doesn't write good books, he does. He does. But seriously, there are other great middle grade authors. For also, yeah, my second point. So the second runner-up, Bridge of Souls by Victoria Schwab. And then you have Eyes That Kiss in the Corners by Joanna Ho. And then at fourth place, Amara in the Nightmares by B.B. Olsen. Fourth place? I mean, what happened? Amari and the Blackbirds was a huge bestseller when it came out. I feel like people have been talking about it more or less all year. I feel like people are doing about how much they read it, or like how much they want to read it, and like, yeah, how good it is. The movie has already been optioned. It has producers. It's not like optioned slightly. It's like big stuff behind it. And yeah, it was on bestseller list for a long while. And I mean, it got translated to Norwegian the same year it came out. Translations usually don't really happen so fast in the world. Like, usually they take a year or two before they translate stuff. So translate the same year, that means something. And yeah, no, it's gonna get number 4 on the Goodreads Choice Awards. I mean, what? Yeah, this was what made me so mad. Like, I can't accept that. I suppose I have to accept because it's reality. But I can accept that The Daughter of the Deep won. I mean, I haven't read it yet, but I've started. It's one of those books I started, haven't finished yet. Mood Reader. But yeah, I think it's probably a good book, and I can be accepting of that. I mean, that's fine. That's good. I mean, probably deserves it. But Amari having number 4. 4? I mean, this here, someone's cheating. Someone. I don't believe that Eyes That Kiss in the Corners, so which looks like a kid's book for like 7-year-olds something, is better than Amari. No, nothing bad to that book, but Amari should at least have had 3rd place. 4th place for Amari? 4th place? Yeah, I'm mad. I'm mad. Seriously mad. Going to take another ginger and just torturing myself. This. Yeah. Also, I got extra shift at work today. Another store, but the same chain, bookstore chain. So I'm gonna have to think happy thoughts, because right now I'm just mad again, right where what I was yesterday when I found out, like, yeah, so mad, so mad. I suppose maybe because so far I've seen a lot of people, at least one people. Well, Jess Owens talked about how she was mad at me about Amari not winning and having the 4th place. And people in the comments on the video said they also agree Amari should have won, or at least been higher. So I'm thinking that maybe her not winning will make a lot of people make mad reaction videos, and that will make more people pick it up and buy it for Christmas. That I kind of, and that maybe the what's the word again? Maybe they're selling numbers. Maybe they're best. Maybe they'll just like fly up high in the best-selling charge. Yeah, charge lists charge because of this. Hopefully, you can only hope. But yeah, I'm gonna end it there, and yeah, we'll see you soon. Actually, I have another video coming up later today, and that's more happier. And yeah. And also, yeah, I did a countdown. Well, did a countdown. I'm doing a countdown of 2 books, like 2 adapted. I don't really think I'll have time to film any more today. So today, there won't be a new video. Well, I'll make a new video tomorrow, and hopefully I'll have more or less. Maybe I'll do 2 quotes tomorrow. That could happen. And yeah, see you soon. Bye.